gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Johnny Carson wasn't just another talk show host. For 30 years, he was the most powerful man in American television. Night after night, millions of viewers tuned in to The Tonight Show, ending their days with Carson's sharp wit and effortless charm. But what the audience never saw was how carefully he built that empire, level by level, until not even NBC could control him. From influencing politics to launching entire careers, Carson's power went far beyond a late-night desk. Today, we're exploring the 6 levels of Johnny Carson's power on The Tonight Show, and why his legacy still casts a shadow over television decades after his final bow. In the early 1960s, television was still young. When Johnny Carson took over The Tonight Show in 1962, few imagined it would become a national ritual.
Went out there as Johnny Carson and stayed that way for 30 years.
But Carson had something special. He made viewers feel like he was in their living room, speaking directly to them. By the mid-1960s, more than 10 million Americans ended their evenings with Carson's monologue. His rhythm became the nation's bedtime story. Politicians waited nervously for his jokes.
A little far. I understand Governor Clinton and Jennifer Flowers are going to be on studs.
Movies prayed for his approval. Even advertisers understood. If Johnny made fun of a product, it could disappear from shelves overnight. Behind closed doors, NBC executives knew the truth. Carson wasn't just entertaining the country, he was setting the tone for it. His audience power was unmatched, and it was only the first level of his growing influence. For performers, a single invitation to Carson's stage could change everything. In the 70s and 80s, comedians dreamed of one moment, delivering their set on The Tonight Show and hoping Johnny would signal them over to the couch. That small gesture meant approval. It meant you'd made it. Legends like Joan Rivers, Jerry Seinfeld, and David Letterman all got their start thanks to Carson. One wave of his hand, one smile of recognition, and their careers took off. But the reverse was also true. If Carson didn't laugh, or if he never invited you back, the silence was career-ending. Backstage, Hollywood insiders whispered about his influence. Managers and agents fought for bookings, knowing Carson's stamp of approval was worth more than any advertisement. His celebrity power was terrifying, and it made him the undisputed kingmaker of show business.
Boy, what a good mood. Yeah. Like this when you come out and you're excited like that. Tell you what, why don't we all get out of here?
Carson wasn't just telling jokes, he was shaping national conversation. During Watergate, Vietnam, and presidential elections, Americans turned to The Tonight Show for a lighter but still pointed perspective.
I try not to, and we've had some criticism on the show. Some critics over the years says, well, the show has no great sociological value. It's not controversial. It's not deep. The Tonight Show basically is to amuse people, to make them laugh.
He had a gift for balance. Never too harsh, never too soft, but always cutting just enough to make the audience think. A single joke about Richard Nixon could ripple across dinner tables the next day. A sly remark about the economy made headlines. It wasn't news, but it mattered. Carson's cultural power came from trust. He wasn't a politician or a journalist. He was America's neighbor, the one who helped you laugh at the chaos of the day. Behind the curtain, NBC knew they had something even more valuable than ratings. They had the voice of a generation. By the 1970s, Carson realized his true value, and he wasn't afraid to use it. In 1972, he threatened to walk away from NBC altogether. The network panicked. Rival networks courted him. Carson negotiated fiercely, and in the end, he got what no host had ever achieved. He cut The Tonight Show from 90 minutes to 60. He reduced his work week, appearing only 3 nights a week while guest hosts covered the others. He gained control over reruns, ensuring NBC couldn't overplay his material. And perhaps most shocking of all, he negotiated ownership rights to the show's archive. Every time NBC tried to push back, Carson reminded them of one fact. Without him, they would collapse in late night. NBC executives bent over backwards to keep him happy. For 3 decades, they worked for him, not the other way around. Carson didn't just control his own show. He shaped the entire late-night industry. He handpicked guest hosts, choosing who might someday succeed him. Joan Rivers, David Letterman, Jay Leno, all of them were tested under Carson's watchful eye. If you sat in for Johnny, your career trajectory changed forever. Behind closed doors, his word carried enormous weight. Agents, networks, even rivals at CBS and ABC knew that late night revolved around Carson's decisions. He proved that hosts weren't just employees, they were brands, negotiators, and power brokers. Industry insiders credit Carson's battles with NBC for setting the template that modern stars like Oprah, Letterman, and even today's late-night hosts followed. He didn't just work in television, he rewrote its rules. When Carson retired in 1992, the world of late night changed forever. His goodbye drew 50 million viewers, a number no talk show has ever matched since. But even in retirement, his presence loomed. He rarely appeared on television again, choosing silence over spectacle. Yet everyone knew Carson was still watching. He privately supported David Letterman when NBC chose Jay Leno as his successor, a quiet gesture that revealed his lingering influence. And even after his passing in 2005, Carson's shadow remained.
Johnny Carson died in his Malibu home.
Icon Johnny Carson died today after a long battle with emphysema.
Here's Johnny.
Every late-night host since has been compared to him. None have surpassed him. He is still the benchmark, the invisible standard against which all others are measured. That is Carson's final level of power, the ability to dominate an industry even in absence, to remain the king long after leaving the throne. Johnny Carson built his empire step by step, first by winning over the audience, then celebrities, then the culture itself. He bent NBC to his will, reshaped the television industry, and even after his retirement, his legacy towered above it all. These 6 levels of power reveal the truth about Carson. He wasn't just a talk show host. He was a force of nature, the kind of figure television will never see again. Behind the laughter, behind the effortless smile, was a man who held the entire medium in the palm of his hand. And even now, decades later, when we look back at late night, we know one thing: there was Johnny Carson, and then there was everyone else.